Alright, about a week ago, I was contacted by the DNA people. They want me to cover the next patch. Well, they want a lot of people to come back and cover the next patch, but with the whole hacking thing, a lot of content creators, jump ship, me included. I already jumped ship once. I made a post about it. I made a few videos about it, talking about the hacks. The hacks are unacceptable. They should have had the first hack should have been their wake-up call, but they didn't fix things then. They didn't. I've heard that they have fixed things since then, that there was a supposed third hack and that actually wasn't a thing. It was just people playing it up like it was. It wasn't actually a hack. It was a leak. There was some source code leakage. I did hear about that being confirmed, but that wasn't a hack. It is still concerning. Don't get me wrong. It is still concerning. My concern is whether or not my PC is safe if I have the game installed. That's my concern. I want to know, like, is it safe? I want to be able to play the game without worrying about losing all my shit. I can't afford to have my PC hacked. I don't have a backup option, you know? So, we're gonna watch this. We're gonna see. I've already watched part of it once. I've liked it before. Full disclosure, I have seen part of this. At least part of this. I don't remember if I watched the whole thing or not. I don't remember a lot of it. Duet and Power Abyss. Let's see what they gotta say.
Communication has been at the forefront of DNA's problems. When the game was hacked on March 18th, 2026, it was bad, but it's the lack of good communication afterwards that has been whittling down fans of the game. And since I'm a fan of the game in a unique position where I've been sponsored and therefore have connections to the staff, I decided to try to do something about it. I asked DNA if I could interview the devs and get them to talk about everything we wanted to know about balancing issues, the grinding, and yes, the hacks. To my surprise,
that's the main thing I want to know about,
agreed,
but the rest...
and DNA even agreed to sponsor this video. So thank you to Duet Night Abyss for sponsoring this video, but as you're about to see, that hasn't affected the sort of difficult questions I'll be asking. Let me set the stage. When I first came up with these questions, I thought maybe a community manager would answer them. Imagine my surprise when it was nonchalantly mentioned that these questions were going all the way up the chain of command, that the producer of DNA, Decabear, would be the one to answer them. And even wilder, when he needed additional info about certain things, he contacted the team leaders. There's just one problem. I don't speak Chinese. So we got a little creative about how to handle this. Here's what happened. I came up with a list of questions and sent it over to DNA staff. They translated my questions into Chinese. The devs then answered those questions in Chinese, and DNA staff then translated those answers back into English. And just so everything is crystal clear, I will be reading out my questions, and my good friend Amethyst.
Here's my concern about this kind of flow here. Get off the screen. Here's my concern about this kind of flow here. So she did not get to do a live Q&A, so they had time to come up with the best answers. That's both good and bad. So we're getting the best answers that they could give us, but we're also getting how to put this, the PA answers. I'm having a brain fart. I'm not sure how I want to word this. No, not that. If you do a live Q&A, they're kind of on the spot. It's a lot harder to come up with a truthful way to say something that is also masking things. You're either lying or you're telling the truth, and it's very uncensored truth. With this, it could be censored truth. That's what I'm trying to say. It could be censored truth.
This will be stepping in to read the devs' responses. With all that preamble out of the way,
yes.
Let's dive in. First, I want to thank you, Decabear, for agreeing to answer my questions. I'm a massive fan of Duet Night Abyss, and getting to be able to do something like this is a huge honor. You guys have had quite a journey since switching your design direction to what we have now. While overall that's been positive, it has left some gameplay aspects lacking. As a result, most of the players have questions about gameplay systems and balancing. So let's start with some gameplay-related questions. Character balance has come up consistently in player feedback. In version 1.2, you attempted to address this with demon wedges, and in version 1.3, you added a 7th Intron for Hellfire and Rebecca. Could you share your current approach to balancing and any upcoming changes players can expect?
Wow.
Our goal has always been to
I didn't know
ensure
about
that
that.
every character has a clear role and practical value within the overall ecosystem. As the game evolves, new characters may naturally align more closely with the current environment in terms of mechanics and tuning.
What is
However,
that outfit that's
in
on
the
that
long
psyche?
term, we aim to reduce
looked
the gap
awesome.
between new and older characters so players can continue using their
Hellfire
preferred
in a
units in
school
most
outfit. What the
non-endgame
shit?
content without being
That
forced
is not
out by
fit.
the meta.
Weapons are often seen by players as underutilized in combat.
They
As a
are.
result, many players feel
Like,
that you can
since-
ignore melee and ranged buttons
Since I quit-
entirely. How do you
I
plan
don't know
to
what they've done
address
since
weapon
then, but
balancing?
like Keijo was the
In the
only one that
latest
really
two
used
versions,
weapons.
we gradually introduced a number of weapon demon wedges for
they
characters
just
who are
directly
designed to
mentioned
fully
him right there.
leverage
There's
weapon
homeboy
mechanics. For
Keijo.
example, Catgirl.
The weapon
Weapon-based
specialist,
builds are already
specialist.
capable of reaching top-tier damage potential. If you haven't tried it yet, we'd encourage you to check it out. In future versions, we plan to introduce dedicated systems, gameplay modes, and events built specifically around weapons with the goal of making them feel more meaningful and rewarding within the overall combat experience.
When you originally designed commissions, DNA was
Yeah, like right now, weapons, or at least when I was still playing a few months ago, weapons were kind of just buff sticks. Not stat sticks, buff sticks. Like their stats didn't do you any good. They were just kind of equipped for whatever buffs they could apply to you. Like say, what's it called? Inflorescence. Ember Inflorescence was a Spectro. What's the name of the light element in that game? Lumino. It's Lumino. It was a Lumino buffing bow range weapon. Anytime if you were playing a Lumino character, if your Lumino character did a skill, I think they would get a buff of skill damage, which was really useful for, say, my build, the Fox Hunter as a main DPS. I played the Fox Hunter as a main DPS, and she hit hard. Alright, in the end game, I was able to do 5 to 6 million damage per per press of her skill. That is no small amount of damage for the Fox Hunter. But yeah, weapons basically, and up until the point I was playing, and probably still now for most newer characters as well, were just there for the buff that they applied.
meant to have a stamina system, meaning players were only intended to play a few of them per day. Now that the design of the game has shifted, are there plans to expand or diversify commission gameplay in the future?
For the next step, we'll be introducing new combat-focused gameplay modes. Initially, many of these will appear in the form of limited-time events. Based on player reception and feedback, we'll continue iterating on them, and if players respond positively, we'll consider transitioning them into reoccurring or permanent content.
Because of the current commission structure, progression systems such as demon wedge farming have been described as unrewarding by parts of the community. How is the team approaching improvements to progression pacing
It takes so damn long to get your demon wedges built up. Like, if all you're doing is like a base amount of gold demon wedges, like what he had there on the screen. Let's go back a hair. Like, here's a bunch of gold demon wedges. These are not leveled up. You can level them up to +5 initially, and then like you can ascend to them. It takes a total of yen to ascend it to +10, I believe, or maybe more than that. I'm not sure, but it takes extras to send it from +5 to +10, and it's a pain in the butt to get some of these, like the Wings Inspo one here. It's a lot of farming to get this up. Like, I farmed for over a week and I didn't get mine up to +10. Not every day, not several hours a day, mind you, but like it's an AFK farming game at the moment, or at the time. I don't know if it's still an AFK farming game, it probably is. But like, then it's too much grinding. Like, sure, most of it's AFK, but say if I want to do it manual, I should be able to farm it faster if I manually do it.
The community. How is the
It
team
just takes
approaching
too much.
improvements to progression pacing and rewards?
We understand that part of this feedback may stem from the current lack of sufficiently challenging content, which can make progression systems like demon wedge farming feel less rewarding. To
That's
address
necessary.
this, we plan to introduce more challenging gameplay modes that better test players' builds and progression
Who is that
choices,
character?
allowing the effort invested in character development to feel more validated
That
and
character
meaningful.
was new
Meanwhile,
since I
we'll
played.
keep adding more free rewards in limited time events with each update, including cosmetics and myriad resources, and we'll also introduce permanent systems to further improve the experience.
Support characters such as Truffle, Daphne, and Fushu have dedicated fans, but some players feel their gameplay experience is less engaging.
Ruffle
They're
is
powerful,
adorable.
but usually only when controlled by the AI. Will there be any changes to how you approach designing and balancing support playstyles?
We invest just as much thought and design effort into support characters as we do into DPS roles. However, when playing challenging content, players naturally prefer to directly control characters with more precise damage pacing, while entrusting support roles to AI. That said, the idea of actively controlling support characters is genuinely interesting. In the
I would
future,
love to
we
do
could
that.
explore designing support characters who are better suited for player control.
I would love to do this, like say if I could just directly control Fushu or Fina and have two really strong DPS characters be my support, my summon characters. That's the word I should use, summon characters. I would go for that. I would do that.
In some less challenging content, offering a
think that would
different
be
kind
fun.
of hands-on gameplay experience.
It's kind of like how the other week when I was doing Arclight Infield in-game, I couldn't clear it unless I played the support character. Like I had to manually control the support character because it wasn't a matter of like I didn't have damage. It was a matter of like as I was doing my rotations, my animations were moving my character, physically moving my character, which put me into danger. I would get frozen because the boss was doing freezing mechanics, and if I did the wrong ability at the wrong time, I would get physically shoved into, by the character's own ability, into this freezing ability that the boss is doing. But the support character's abilities did not move them like that. So I was able to get on the support characters stay chill, stay safe, while my summoned the DPS characters, the rest of my team, will fast, and I could still tell them when to do their skills. So I was still kind of playing the DPS for them. It's just the character I was manually controlling was a support character, and I won that way. That was how I cleared.
With recent updates making some activities more AFK-friendly, players have noted a shift towards more passive gameplay. How do you plan to balance accessibility with active engagement?
When the game first launched, many players told us the experience felt too demanding and exhausting. In response, we introduced a series of quality of life changes to reduce grind and allow more content to be played
That
in
auto
AFK
continues
friendly
crazy.
manner.
I haven't played
We
since
are
they
aware
put
that
that in.
this has shifted some experiences towards being more passive. In the future, we'll continue to keep the core experience approachable while gradually introducing more challenging content. We are really
What I want is both. What I would want is both. Like, here's my shtick about having AFK versus active content. If I want to AFK it, I'm fine if it takes more runs. But if, like, the reason why players thought it felt too demanding and exhausting is it took too long when they were doing it actively. Like if you're actively playing, you should be able to do it faster and get more rewards. Then if you're AFK, it's whatever. Take a little while, whatever. But if I'm actively pushing it, I want to be able to get the rewards twice as fast or 3 times as fast. It just took too much. It's not that we needed AFK to be a thing, it's just it took too much.
looking forward to hearing your thoughts after future updates, as player feedback plays a key role in helping us improve the game.
Players are concerned that DNA has too many gacha elements despite having moved away from being a character gacha. For example, the
I
event
don't think
structure
that.
is closer to that of a gacha game. What are your thoughts on this?
A gacha elements. If it's like that or not, gacha inherent. The only thing that is gacha inherent is the banner system, which this game does not have. Now they have a gacha system for their cosmetics, but like the event system thing, that's not unique to gachas. That's stupid. People saying that don't know what they're talking about. To be honest, events are a core component and nearly all.
Events are a core component of nearly all long-running live service games. On one
Yes.
hand, they allow us to experiment with new gameplay ideas and
Who is
offer
that
players
cute
fresh experiences
Quintil-
each
I-
version. On the
I don't
other,
wanna-
well-received events can
Doogie is her
evolve
name,
into
okay.
reoccurring modes, or even permanent content, as we've done with Bountiful Day.
Yo, what's up,
That
Garcia?
said,
Welcome in.
we acknowledge that the current event
And
UI
Moss,
structure
welcome in.
may visually resemble
By the
that
way.
of traditional gacha-style games, and this is something we'll continue to reflect on.
Controller support has been a recurring concern among players, particularly on mobile. Though I've noticed version 1.3 did a lot to fix it on PC. What improvements or updates are planned in this area?
At the moment, our priority is improving controller support on PC. We are actively optimizing existing issues such as pointer-focused behavior and input mode switching.
That's
Mobile
good.
controller support will arrive in a later version, and we appreciate everyone's patience as we continue.
You should have had mobile controller support from day one. You should have had this shit in the betas. Like I was in both betas. I was in the beta in February 25 and I was in the beta in June 25 last year. You should have had controllers by the second beta for mobile. Like I know we weren't testing mobile, but you should have had controllers for that. I think the second beta might have had mobile testing. I don't remember explicitly, but like the game at the very worst, the launch with mobile filter support. That's why I couldn't play it on my phone. It's because trying to do the freaking Helix jump on phone was a pain in the ass. It was damn near impossible. Like all I could do on my phone was like load it in and do an AFK mission. Like I couldn't do any missions where I had to physically move, but I did play on my phone some.
Refining this area.
This one is for all the people in my comments
you
section
played like
who
an
have been
ass on
asking
Controller,
this
really?
for months.
I haven't
Are there
played her
any
yet.
plans to
I
bring
didn't even
DNA
know
to
her
console?
name until this now.
At this time, we do not have plans to bring DNA.
Hold on, what was that question?
Any plans to bring DNA,
DNA
to console?
At this time, we do not have plans to bring DNA to console platforms. We'll share
That's a big
updates if this
undertaking,
changes in
not
the
gonna lie.
future.
It's no secret that DNA still has a lot of room to grow with its visuals. This industry is absolutely incredible with
DNA
the
looks
quality of
fine.
models, environments,
I'm gonna
and
be completely honest
animations
with
it
you,
can put
DNA looks
out.
fine.
And I've loved watching DNA catch up over the months. Let's
Fix the game before you fix the looks. Like this before and after picture looks crazy. This after looks great. Like that's fine. But also the before looks fine. Fix the game though. Fix the game before you focus more on the visuals. That's my opinion.
talk animations and visuals for a bit. DNA
Make
has
it
gone through
unhackable.
many graphical overhauls
I know,
since the beta tests.
unhackable.
Most recently, the
In that
updates to
literal sense is
Purgatorio
impossible,
Island
but-
have been absolutely gorgeous. How does the team plan to evolve the game's visual identity to stand out in a competitive market?
We will continue to improve overall quality. The firmament
You guys see what I mean? Like the first sentence to answer that question, how I was talking earlier at the very start, when I was saying like I'm kind of concerned like how they're going to answer the questions won't be like uncensored honesty. It's going to be censored honesty. It's going to be the PA answers.
bound version is just the beginning. Moving forward, we'll place greater emphasis on visual identity and stylistic diversity. In upcoming versions, players will see changes and improvements that are even more noticeable than what was introduced in the current version, so we hope everyone looks forward to what is coming.
Players have noted differences between 2D artwork and in-game 3D models. How do you approach aligning these visual styles?
First and foremost, we respect each character's original design and the intent behind the 2D artwork, what the
I
artists
think
and
the characters
designers
look
want
great.
to express at their best. At the same time, we'll continue improving model quality and detail so that the in-game presentation better aligns with that vision. Rather than making trade-offs between 2D and 3D, our goal is to let them
Maybe I'm just like easier to satisfy visually than most people, but I think the models look fine. I like them just fine, like how they are. Maybe that's just me though. Maybe other people are a lot more picky than I am.
reinforce each other and elevate the overall quality.
Character expressions and animations are an area of feedback from the community. Are there plans to expand facial expressions or idle animations?
We acknowledge that some NPC animations and expressions haven't met our expectations in certain versions. This is something we've taken note of. In future updates, we'll continue improving both quality and production capacity, adding more
Those facial animations can be immersion breaking. I totally get that.
expressive animations to NPCs and characters alike.
Some character models, particularly older ones and male models, feel less polished compared to newer releases. How do you approach updating or maintaining visual consistency across the roster?
Some early characters
I know it's not this game that I'm answering this question about, that I'm replying rather to this question about, but like it kind of makes me think of Wuthering Waves. Like how a lot of the NPCs that aren't like playable characters or main story characters, their mouths have like an open state and a closed state. Like if you guys have played WoW and you've seen these, you know what I'm talking about. Like their mouths don't have fluid movement. They kind of open and close like Robot Chicken animation, if you know what I'm talking about. Almost like South Park or Robot Chicken.
do fall behind as the game evolves. In future versions, we'll gradually
this is
strengthen
better than
and
that.
refine older characters,
just-
improving their
it just
visual
mouth
quality
movements are fine to me.
alongside newer releases to maintain overall consistency.
Many players find Snow's character design off-putting. I love her as a character, but I have to admit to finding her design unappealing as well. A lot of other Lunos are very cute though. Could it be possible for us to collect their outfits for Snow to wear?
Please give us outfits for Snow. I think Snow's adorable. I like her. She's a great character. I can understand why people don't like her. I know a lot of people really don't like Paimon, for example, and so probably reminds them of Paimon. I know some people have explicitly said that they don't like Snow because Paimon. I think that's unfair to say. I like Snow. I think she's fine. I would love to have outfits for her.
That's a great suggestion. We'll definitely discuss it internally. And thank you very much for liking Snow. We truly appreciate the support on her behalf.
Since Lunos
Yeah, let him go back a second.
Very much for liking Snow. We suggestion. We'll definitely
Go back.
discuss
Yeah, right here. That outfit is really cute.
it internally. And thank you very much for liking Snow.
If we could have that for
truly
Snow, that'd be
appreciate the
awesome.
support on her behalf.
Since Lunos love to sell things to us, that seems like a good segue into monetization. A hot topic in the forums is the cash shop, and many players have very specific concerns.
I don't give two shits about the cash shop. Yeah, I'm just gonna say it straight. I don't care. I don't care about the cash shop. I think it's fine. You wanna add a bunch of stuff for people to buy that is optional and not necessary to play the game? Perfectly fine with me. I don't have a problem with a single thing on my screen right now. None of this is a problem to me. I don't care. None of it's a problem to me. None of this is a problem to me. You don't have to buy them. You don't have to. You can earn them. You don't have stamina in this game. You can just grind it. You can grind it. You can AFK farm it.
What are your future plans for incentivizing players to purchase things from the cash shop?
After 4 versions of sales experimentation, combined with survey feedback and back-end data, we've gained clearer insight into player preferences.
outfit looks
Moving
really good on
forward,
the Fox
we'll
Hunter, by
adjust
the
our
way.
production direction more precisely to focus on content players genuinely want. We've also introduced
Yes,
discounted
please do that.
coupons within the game, and future versions will gradually roll out coupons covering different themes to help reduce purchase costs.
I hope I'll still be able to
Truly
get that
value
outfit for the
player
Fox Hunter.
input. Whether it's accessories or outfit themes
That's
you'd like
been
to
in, like,
see,
a whole bunch of
please
money.
continue sharing feedback through
I don't want to spend
surveys
all
or
my money for it,
customer
'cause I have good
support.
outfits
The
for the
team will
Fox Hunter.
actively use the input when planning future content.
Players aren't happy that accessories cannot be dyed and that you need to purchase each color separately. With the addition of Taishu Rover, the same is now true for mounts. Are there plans to evolve these
Mounts?
systems?
At present, color variations for accessories and mounts are an important part
Mount, that's a thing now? But when did mounts get added?
of our monetization design. To preserve the uniqueness and perceived value of different color options,
It can ride a sword? Brutal as fuck. That's awesome.
we don't have plans to shift to a fully open dye system or bundled color access. We appreciate everyone's understanding.
Some games
This
even
is
release
Duet, not
dyes
Abyss.
in sets that can be purchased once and then used infinitely. Is that a system you could consider exploring?
I
At
don't
this
think
time,
so.
we
I
are
don't
not
think that's a good
considering a
idea.
buy once unlimited use dye system. However, we fully recognize players' desire for more freedom in customization. Within the current framework, we'll continue increasing access to free dyes through events, logging rewards, and other in-game sources, so customization feels more accessible and less cost-restricted in practice.
Other games in this genre let you purchase universal skins for all characters at once. Could DNA consider doing this in the future?
Maybe
if not,
it
can the
costs
prices of each
extra
universal
to
skin
do
be
that,
reduced?
but I don't know about
Rather
that.
than reducing the price of universal skins, we prefer to give back to players through free distribution. Some high-quality character-themed skins will be offered through in-game
Yo, hold on. Let me see
through
that
free
again. I want to see that on,
Some high
on
quality
Barry. That outfit looks awesome. Rebel wrist.
character-themed skins will be offered through in-game events or permanent exchange systems. For example, Hellfire's skin was distributed for free in the current version. We'll continue refining how these rewards are obtained based on player feedback and data.
Yeah, I don't think there should be universal skins and or permanent dyes for that matter. Like for a game that's like primarily making its money off of cosmetics, I don't think that's a good idea.
Players are sad that their favorite characters don't get skins because they release in the second half of the patch. Can we expect unique skins for every character, and how or when would they be released?
Ensuring that every character eventually receives a unique skin is one of our goals. We've already begun addressing this. In the June update, we created a dedicated outfit for Rebecca, one of our launch characters. Moving forward, alongside new character skins, we'll gradually roll out updates for older characters who missed earlier opportunities.
We're getting a brand new
Dune hasn't
outfit for
happened
Rebecca
yet,
in
so
June.
that's an
It's great to know
upcoming
old
event.
characters won't be forgotten, both in terms of their visuals and their skins. However, there's one thing
Oh
players
Lord, that just made my brain go hazy.
both in terms
Look at Rebecca.
of their visuals
bounce,
and their
bounce,
skins.
bounce.
However, there's one thing players want to know about more than anything. We have to address the cybersecurity attacks DNA endured
Here we
on
go.
February 24th and March 18th. For those of you watching this video, I stipulated that I would not do this interview unless I could directly address the hack. That's part of why I was so surprised that it went ahead. Here's what I asked. Players are scared to log into the game after the second hack was able to spread malware, potentially compromising players' sensitive information. What steps has the team taken to ensure player safety and rebuild trust?
We fully understand player concerns and sincerely apologize for the incident. In response to the malware-related risks, we carried out a comprehensive security overhaul rather than a temporary fix.
Why didn't you do this the first time? When the hack happened, that changed the name of the server. That's when all of this should have been done so that the second one never happened. The first one needed to be taken way more seriously. The second time wasn't the wake-up call. The first time was the wake-up call. The second time was the we slept through the alarm.
First, we've deployed real-time monitoring and automated
And now
alert
we're
systems
facing some real
across our core
consequences.
assets, including critical game files, servers, and key data interfaces, allowing us to detect abnormal behavior much earlier. Second, internally, we've reinforced a strict minimum network and access principle. All external entry points, including ports, paths, and access keys, have gone through comprehensive audits and consolidation to ensure only what is absolutely necessary remains exposed. On top of that, for all remaining sensitive access points, we've implemented tighter access control lists and whitelist-based permissions to further reduce potential risk.
Whitelist
fully
based
understand that
permissions. That goes a long way in my book.
defending against malicious hacking is a long-term
This video
effort.
sadly a bit
We
too
will
late. Yeah, the
continue to
game
monitor,
is not
reinforce, and maintain
being
our
looked upon
security
very good
measures
right now.
so players can enjoy the game with greater peace of mind.
After the second incident, you released a message stating that the attack was a, quote, wake-up call. Why wasn't the first incident considered a
Thank you for saying that. Thank you so much for putting that in there. My God. Why was it the first time the wake-up call, like I just said a minute ago? The first time was the wake-up call. The second time was I slept through my alarm clock.
wake-up call?
Looking back, we have to acknowledge that our initial judgment in handling the first situation fell short. At the time, we viewed it as an isolated anomaly. The second incident made it clear that our risk assessment and response standards needed to be elevated.
They admit that their judgment and handling the first situation fell short. Do you know how much it takes to get any company to admit that they fucked up? This phrase right here is company jargon for we messed up. We legitimately messed up, and we understand that, and we acknowledge that, and we admit it. This line goes a long way for me.
Since then, we've adjusted not only our technical solutions, but also our internal security classification, response protocols, and decision-making processes. It's a lesson we wish we hadn't had to learn this way, but one we must face honestly.
How did your team determine the compensation offered to players following the second hack? In light of community feedback that the rewards felt insufficient, are there any plans to revisit or expand that compensation for affected players?
At the time, our primary focus was restoring normal operations as quickly as possible, and we didn't fully account for the emotional gap players experienced. In hindsight, compensation isn't just about resources, it's about whether players are willing to continue trusting the game after
It is a little bit about both. That 100 Fox scene was not it. I'm sorry, that 100 was not it.
afterwards. We've taken this feedback seriously and will be working towards more comprehensive compensation approaches in the future. We've carefully reviewed player feedback and understand that some felt the compensation fell short, and we accept that. Losses caused by our own issues can't be perfectly offset with items alone. The compensation was intended first as a clear expression of apology. It's also worth noting that the compensation was designed based on what we believe to be a relatively high standard for that stage of thing, but we recognize that there was still a gap between our expectations and how players actually felt. Going forward, we won't treat compensation as a closing action, but as a starting point for continued improvement. Our focus will be on long-term safety and stability along with the sustained content updates, allowing players to feel that recovery is ongoing, not a one-off.
I still feel like it's full of PA stuff, but how do I want to put this? It goes a long way. I just want to know that my computer's not gonna get sparked if I install this game. I need to be able to trust that I'm safe playing this game.
Do you feel the current communication between the team and players is where you want it to be?
You better say no.
Our current level of
Okay.
communication is still far from our ideal of being transparent, timely, two-way, and grounded. We've heard the call for
grounded.
clearer progress
Important.
updates and more transparent decision-making. In the future, we'll move toward more consistent and proactive communication, explore more direct ways to stay in touch, and continue welcoming feedback across all channels.
What would you say to concerns that the game will EOS or won't last the year?
We understand recent events have caused anxiety. We want to be clear. Our core objective remains operating Duet Night Abyss as a stable long-term project. Since launch, the team has continued pushing forward with planned major updates, including new characters, new gameplay content, and ongoing system expansion. While external issues did arise, our internal development cadence never stopped, and our level of investment in the project has not decreased. As for the recent security incidents, this was something we neither wanted nor could ignore. Afterward, we carried out a fairly comprehensive overhaul of our security framework, not just patching individual problems, but reassessing the structure of our protection and response mechanisms to reduce the likelihood of similar issues in the future. We are also very aware that trust isn't restored through a single statement. Rather than
it's not.
asking players to immediately regain confidence, we believe the right approach is to demonstrate change over time, through stable operations, consistent content updates, and how we handle issues moving forward.
I really appreciate and respect these candid answers. It must be
I just want to know that the game's not hackable right now, or not. I know unhackable doesn't exist, but I want to know that I'm safe while I play this game. That I won't lose my entire PC because it's installed.
difficult for the dev team to go through this as well as the players. Viewers may have heard rumors of a third hack on DNA, but I'm happy to confirm that the source code leak was not a third hack, and DNA has been safe ever since the incident on March 18th. Speaking of the future,
Yeah, I
I want to
mentioned
hear
that
some
already.
hints about what's coming later and how DNA came to be in the first place. What are the main inspirations behind the game and its characters?
Our inspiration comes from long-term engagement with anime culture and a deep experience with high-quality action games. As both a producer and a heavy player, I saw growing demand for anime-style games that meaningfully combine story and combat, where character personalities and experiences are felt through gameplay, not just pure
Oh, there's
text.
that girl, Sugi
That
again.
vision has guided
Or
Duet Night
Sugi?
Abyss from the start.
I don't know.
Our goal has been the same from day one. Make the combat feel solid and fun,
The hell
and
boss
give
is
the
that?
story and characters enough weight to be worth players' time and long-term attachment. As development goes on, we'll keep refining the game and making sure this comes across more clearly.
Does Pan Studio have any other projects lined up?
No.
This is your first game project as a studio.
Just a
What has been the
one-word
most
answer.
challenging aspect of launching the game?
The greatest challenge has been sustaining progress under pressure while continuously improving quality. From launch to now, we've remained committed to refinement and have gradually found a path that truly belongs to Duet Night Abyss, strengthening the world, the story, and the tone, and focusing on content that resonates with players.
Do you have any advice for game devs?
Development is rarely smooth. Challenges and setbacks are the norm. Stay
Yes,
focused on
they are.
content, on your original intent, on what you do best, and on serving players sincerely.
Can you share an example of feedback that directly changed a decision internally?
There are many examples, from smaller gameplay improvements like adding sprint feature late in testing, to feedback that indirectly pushed us to rethink our entire monetization model. player feedback, encouragement, and support have continuously driven Duet Night Abyss forward. We are deeply grateful to those who stood by us during difficult times, just like light in the dark.
Looking back, how do you reflect on the decision to shift from a character gacha model to a cosmetic-focused approach?
It was a high-risk and imperfect decision. After several rounds of testing, we realized that continuing to rely on character gacha as the primary monetization model might be easier in the short term, but over time it would increasingly amplify power anxiety and place constraints on both narrative and gameplay designs. That
Yeah, because if you have a gacha, you have to feature the characters that are in the gacha some way or another. And typically in gacha games, when those banners are gone, the characters just magically disappear from the story and they're just kind of one-offs. I hate that. I'm glad that some games like Xenozone Zero isn't as bad about that and like moving away from that kind of system. I think it's great. Like, if you have a good character, they should not just appear out of nowhere and then disappear just as out of nowhere, never to be seen again. Like, we want to keep seeing the characters.
Direction conflicted with how we hoped players would stay with the game and with the original intent behind the project. After running this approach for several versions, it's also clear that cosmetic monetization is not a one-time solution. It places much higher demands on content quality, production consistency, and our ability to listen carefully to player feedback around aesthetics and perceived value. Revenue grows more slowly, and it forces us to be more disciplined in execution. That said, at this stage, we believe it's a more sustainable direction and one that better respects player choice. It's still evolving and not a finished answer, but it's a path we feel is worth continuing to refine.
Are there any major systems or features currently in development that you're particularly excited about?
There are a few things that we can share. We are continuously working on reducing grind across mobile controls, materials, and systems. Endgame content is another major focus. This has been one of the most frequently discussed topics among players, and you'll start seeing more of it introduced in upcoming versions. Beyond that, there are many other systems and gameplay features currently in development, and a large portion of them are directly driven by player feedback and suggestions we've received over time.
The story of DNA is so dark compared to many other live service anime games. Personally, I love that. What made you decide to write a story like this?
This was a deliberate choice. We are less interested in simple good versus evil narratives and more focused on how people make choices under extreme circumstances and the consequences of those choices.
I love that.
Darkness isn't the goal.
That's a great way to tell a story.
We avoid exploiting suffering for shock value.
It makes the characters
Instead,
feel more real.
We want players to feel a grounded, weighty sense of immersion where choices matter and leave lasting traces.
A grounded, weighty sense of immersion.
Sang the main theme of DNA, and Emma Ballantyne is Fox Hunter's voice actress. Is it a coincidence, or do the devs really like Final Fantasy XIV too?
It really is a fortunate coincidence. Our casting process was blind initially, and working with Emma turned out to be a matter of mutual fit. And Amanda Aiken had previously collaborated with Zoe, our music director, so she was a natural choice when creating the theme song. There are indeed fans of the Final Fantasy series on our team as well.
If players check back in 6 months, what do you hope will have changed their perception of the game?
We hope players genuinely feel the game is moving in a positive direction. Over the past 6 months, we've continued making improvements to visuals and gameplay experience, while also expanding our monetization offerings with more direct purchase cosmetics and shop items. The goal has always been to provide content that feels worthwhile and enjoyable, allowing players to play the way they want and have fun doing so. Since announcing
Like for real talk, real quick, that boxy of it was awesome. I missed it. I'm kinda sad that I missed it, cause I wanted a shiny boxy, damn it. I really wanted a shiny boxy. I missed that event. I didn't know what was going on until it was too late. Heck.
The move away from character and weapon gacha, the development team has put significant effort into supporting that decision. We are very aware that this shift created a chain of follow-up challenges, and not every attempt or implementation along the way was perfect. Thus, we are grateful for the community's patience, understanding, and continued support throughout this process. We also noticed that during the early stages, some players stepped away due to unsatisfactory experiences. Looking ahead to the 6-month mark or beyond, we sincerely hope those players will consider checking back in and see the improvements we've made across visuals, gameplay, and overall experience, and perhaps feel it's worth giving the game another try.
And finally, can you give us a hint or teaser for an upcoming character?
We've already shared that the next version will introduce Flora in Luno's Bulletin number 6. We've also noticed
Yo, those
overseas
characters look
players
awesome.
speculating about
Which one's Flora? Is it the one in front or the one behind her? Or is it just gonna be one after the other? Yo, this looks great as a wallpaper. Are you tripping right now? I would put this as my wallpaper. It's awesome.
6. We've also noticed overseas players speculating about future playable characters. Without spoiling too much, some characters
yeah,
you've
caught
already
you.
encountered in the story will indeed become playable and meet you again sooner than you might expect. Please stay tuned.
Oh, I really hope Katya is one of them. That wraps up the interview. Thank you again to Decabear for so thoroughly answering everything, to the team leads who provided further information, and to the staff who translated all this. I did my best to think of all the biggest questions everyone had, regardless of how sensitive they might be. If you're a fan of DNA, I hope I managed to do you proud. That said, if I've missed any questions that you would have asked, drop them in the comments and maybe I'll get another opportunity like this one day. Coincidentally, I've already talked about characters in DNA's story that might be coming soon, and since they're semi-confirmed now, you should check out this video to see who you can look forward to getting your hands on.
Alright, well, let's talk about that for just a minute. The most important thing that I'm worried about is my stuff safe? Is my PC safe if I install the game? I have learned, and this is just through the grapevine, I cannot confirm, and I would like to find confirmation on this, that the Steam version and the Epic Store version at Duet Not Abyss were not touched by the hack. The hack that installed malware, the Steam and the Epic Store were safe. This is what I've heard. I want to find confirmation of that. I'm gonna reach back out to the person who talked to me, who approached me about doing that, like doing more content, taking another look. I want to see if they can confirm that. If I can find that out, that would make me feel a lot safer. I just want to feel safe if I install the game. I want to play the game. I didn't want to uninstall it. I couldn't take the risk. I was afraid. my stuff was gonna get, but I wouldn't admit most of you guys that are chilling in the stream right now if my PC had gotten wrecked by that hack. Like, I see it, I wouldn't have been streaming and you wouldn't have found me. Dalakar, same thing. Artillery, same thing. Like some of you, like Moss, Guy, you guys have been here for a long time. But some of you are newer, like since I've started streaming a lot more consistently the past month, if my PC had gotten wrecked by the hack, that would not have happened. I want to feel safe playing the game. I want to find out if the Steam version was safe, if the Epic Store version was safe. And what I've gathered so far, only the regular launcher for the game was hit by this. I don't know the truth. I want to find out the truth. I want to find out as I can, if they'll tell me, and I will give you guys an update. Hopefully I can find that out before this video goes live, and I can put an addendum after this point. Maybe I can, maybe I can't. We'll see. But either way, there is going to be an update trailer for this game soon. I need to check to see when that's going to be. I don't know if that's coming like in the next day or a couple days or what, but I'm going to see when that's going on because I want to take a look at the update trailer as well. And other than that, I think this interview is good. A great thing. I do feel like a lot of the answers were little public announcements. Yay, this is what I've been saying throughout the whole thing. Public announcement safe, rather than like, just the straight, we're gonna give you our uncensored opinion kind of thing. They can't really do that. That's why having a live interview is better most of the time, because then you're on the spot and you have to give good answers. You have to give honest answers, and a lot of times you're not gonna be able to give uncensored answers, which can get you in trouble, but that can go a lot further in developing trust. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case this time. We did not get those kinds of uncensored answers, but the answers we got, I'm satisfied with. I think they were still good. I just want to know if the theme version was ever touched at all in the first place. Hopefully I can find that out. If not, this video's gonna go up one way or another. I don't know if I'm gonna stream the game. Yeah, I don't want to install the game without knowing it's safe. I will only go through Steam if I know it's safe. I'm not gonna install the regular launcher again. But we'll see how I go forward with this. I don't know if it's gonna be a stream game per se. We'll see. I might rate content on it. We'll see. Anyway, that's it for now. If I get the answer to whether Steam and Epic were safe, we'll add that to the end of the video. Hey guys, so I did hear back from the representative I was talking to about the Steam and Epic game launcher. I can confirm via them that those two were not affected. I have since reinstalled the game and I have played a bit. I have gotten that black-haired twin-tailed girl, Stigu or some such. I don't know how to pronounce her name. I'm gonna find out at some point, but I'm looking forward to getting back into playing the game. I am going to stream my playthrough of the 1.1 and on story. Though it's going to be a lot of story to go through. I think we're on like 1.4. But coming up on the happy anniversary, so that's going to be a little excited. Excuse me. I think that launches here in just a few days. As of time of recording this, I'm about to dive into the immersive theater. I'm planning to do that on stream. I'm not sure what stream yet, but I know at least on the next stream that I do, we will be going through the official live stream for the next version. And yeah, looking forward to getting back into it. This is to hope that things go smooth from here out. Ever since I first got my hands on DNA, well over a year ago in the first beta, I liked the game. And even before then, just the preview videos that they released all the way back in 2024, I was excited for the game. It looked awesome, and the game's fun to me. A little grindy. A little too grindy, honestly, but is what it is. You take the good with the bad, hope and push them to fix the bad in favor of the good. I will be pushing them for that. Hopefully I can make a difference. Let's see how that goes. And yeah, I have to see you guys in future streams. Maybe we'll be playing more NTE, more DNA, more Zenless Zone Zero, Wuwa, Arcanine Infield, you know, anime games. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Bye!